So thank you for joining me. We are in the second book of Enoch. We are doing chapters 60 through 65. I can't quite make it without talking really fast, and I already talked fast enough in our 5 minutes together. So we're just going to do chapters 60 through 65. We'll have one more to finish up the second book of Enoch. If you remember, chapter 59 talked about defiling a soul with animals and birds, sacrifice, and etc. And it talked about some things that would kill your own soul. So when we start in chapter 60, that's kind of where that takes off or picks up at. Remember that Enoch 2 is 68 chapters. It is not canonized. So in chapter 60, it says, he who works. And then it says the killing of a man's soul, which is murder. And it says there is no will for him. And that he who puts a man in a moral entrapment, there is no cure for him. He who puts a man in a vessel, who works dishonestly or speaks evil against the soul, will not make justice for himself at all times. Chapter 61 says to keep your heart from injustice, and in the good time to come there is great inheritance prepared for men. It says, blessed are those who enter good houses. There is no peace in bad houses. If a man puts good thoughts in his heart, it brings gifts from his labors. But if his hands did not make them, then the Lord will turn away his face from the labor of his hand. And if the hand made it, but the heart murmured, complains, and his heart does not stop the incessant murmurs, he does not gain any advantage. Chapter 62 says, blessed is the man who in his patience brings gifts of faith before the Lord. And it says that he will find forgiveness of sin. Every work promised outside the time promised is all deceit before men and sin before God. Chapter 63 says this, if you clothe the naked and fill the hungry, you find reward from God. If the heart complains, he commits a double evil. If your own heart is filled with food and your own flesh is clothed with your own clothing, he commits contempt. If you are selfish and do not add to the economy of others, a proud and pontificating man is hateful to the Lord. False speech is clothed in lies. Chapter 64 says this, there's 2,000 men that came to, and I'm going to spell this Achuzan, Achuzan, where Enoch and his sons were, because people heard how the Lord was calling Enoch. So these people go and they're going to listen. So in chapter 65, Enoch speaks to the 2,000 who came to see him and his sons. And it says that the Lord created physical and spiritual man, created all the creatures, divided time, and that he might count his own, and that man might count his own life from the beginning to the end, reflect on his sin. No work is hidden. It says when it all ends, every man goes into the great judgment. Then time will be destroyed. Then there will be one eon age for all the righteous who shall escape the Lord's great judgment, and that they will live eternally with no labor and no sickness, nor anxiety, nor brutality. In paradise will be right and eternal. So we're at about 3:30, so we're going to stop. We're not going to continue. The other ones are short, but like I said, I can't do it unless I talk far too fast. So we've got one more to do for Enoch book 2. Armor up, we ride at dawn. May God bless you as always. Have a great day.